Money. Yeah, it's an interesting subject, money. I was just doing my breakfast there. Well, I wasn't. I was making me lunch, and some of it became breakfast. And I'm sure when I get to work, even more of it will become breakfast. So yeah, money. It's an interesting subject that no one ever likes to talk about. I think some people find it quite vulgar. I think we never have enough, do we? I think that's the general consensus. Some of us seem to always be poor, never have any money. Some people seem to have bucket loads of it. And it's an interesting thing, money, because in itself, there's no real value to it. If you have a big pile of it in the bank, I suppose you wouldn't have it in the house. That'd probably be a mistake. But yeah, you've got this huge amount of money in the bank. Say you're not spending it, which wouldn't be like me at all. I'm definitely a spender. Well, what does it give you? What's the value? I don't see any value. I mean, maybe a bit of comfort that you're secure financially, and I sort of like that idea. But I feel it's a waste if it's just sitting there. And we know we don't get any money now from the savings account. It's absolutely rubbish. Where you're never gonna get much money that way. And the thing about the value of money to me is only realised when you use it. I'm going to use the word use because I could have said spend, but you can do more with money than just spend it. You can give it away. You can give it to charity, of course. Always wary of giving to charity, really, because you never really know how much of it actually gets to the charity, to the people that you're trying to help. And it's usually people. I don't mind animals. I know there's always a push to stop extinctions, that we should somehow save every species on the planet, no matter how fragile their evolution has been. I think pandas is a great example. They should have died out years ago. It's very noble to want to save everything, but the reality is some things should be let die, and that's just a natural order. So I like charities that help people. Obviously, the heart charities are always good. It's sort of the way I envisage myself bowing out. But you never know. I mean, it could be cancer, and that's never a nice experience for anybody, really. And always nice if you're a survivor. It's not the death sentence it used to be. And I'm hopeful one day it won't be at all. It'll be something that we can treat, and I'm sure. Hopefully within my lifetime, definitely within my children's lifetime, we'll be able to find a cure for all cancers, because we're pretty good at knowing exactly how it works, and that surely is half the battle with anything like that. My understanding now is that AIDS, HIV, is no longer a death sentence as well, and that's good. I mean, it shows you that when the money, the effort is put into something, what we can achieve. So that's all good, you know. So I could give money to charity, but yeah, I never know if it's going to go. I always think of the administration. I think of the directors, the board of a charity, earning big salaries. Okay, it might just be expenses, whatever. But I mean, yeah, I'm not happy with that, really, with charities in that sense. And they will say, obviously, there's running costs involved with collecting money and all the rest of it, and I appreciate that. So, but yeah, so animal charities, probably not. I'm not going to really help them. Human-related charities, yeah. African charities, okay. Any part of the world that's suffering, I'll definitely consider it. I do like to help close to home, though, if I'm honest. I heard a horrible statistic the other day that apparently there's more homeless women in Ireland than anywhere else in Europe. Yeah, that's pretty sad now. And maybe that's just an indicator of how society is, because we do have some pretty good benefits if you're not working, or if you. I mean, house rentals are absolutely, the rental cost is ridiculous price, especially in Dublin, and there's assistance for that. The HAP scheme that the people are eligible for who are either not working or very, very low income. I would give to charities that appeal to me, but I always have concerns about, how they run. And of course, you can just give money away. You can actually give people money. it's probably an unusual concept for most people. I think we're pretty much obsessed with acquiring it, earning it. And you know what, we might feel a little bit uncomfortable if somebody was to give us money, no strings, not a loan, just, you know what, you need a hand, here's some money. It's an interesting concept, and I think that in some ways is way better than charity. There's no middleman, and there's no administration costs. It's getting direct to the source. Obviously, I suppose the person couldn't be a stranger, because that'd be a little bit ridiculous. And to be honest, if someone came up to me and gave me money, I'd probably want to know why and what was the catch, of course. I think we pretty much all would. But I like the concept of somebody in need, genuinely in need, not a chancer, and helping out that way. So that's quite nice. And of course, there used to be, for me, I say used to, in the past, I did enjoy buying things like big TVs and computers, gadgets, laptops, all the trinkets, and I think it's not just a male preserve anymore. I think women have the same. Maybe it's more fashion items. I don't want to sound like it's been stereotypical, because I do like buying shoes myself, but I've only got a few pairs. But there is pleasure. It is retail therapy, and there is a pleasure with shopping. And I think the only sort of downside is it's easy to spend a lot of money. Is one thing, and the other side is it doesn't always last, the pleasure, depending what the item is. Maybe there's more the thrill of the purchase than there is of the actual use of the item. And I think I'd always balance that whenever I'm thinking of a purchase of that nature that might give me some pleasure in that sense. And it does less and less nowadays. Maybe I'm a little bit more thinking the whole thing through a little bit too much, but I mean, I definitely need a big TV in my life. I have a projector that I bought many years ago, quite a good price. But the bulbs go in, it's I think on the third or fourth bulb, and they're expensive and they don't last very long, and it's a faff, and you have to darken the room, and I'm not into all that. So I haven't been watching any television, and I'd recently made a declaration to the post office that I don't have a television with a tuner on, which is absolutely true, of course, and so I don't have to pay the license fee. And it wasn't so much the €165 a year saving. That wasn't really the reason behind it, because to be quite frank, I wouldn't even notice that amount of money. It was the fact that I was forced to get something that I shouldn't be liable for. So obviously, when I do purchase a TV now with a terrestrial tuner, or the ability to receive Irish broadcasting channels, then I will have to tell them, and I definitely will. I'm quite honest. Well, I am an honest person. I wouldn't even say I'm quite honest. I'm a very honest person, and I would be very eager to let them know and pay the money that's due. But it works both ways. Like I say, I mean, if I've not got a television, if I can't receive those channels, then I'm not going to pay for the license. And I mean, for many years I was buying the license and I couldn't receive the channels, and it just didn't seem right to me. It didn't sit comfortably with me, So I do see the pleasure in a gadget type purchase, the television. I really appreciate quality. You probably hear that from some of my other episodes. That I enjoy luxury items, but not silly luxury items, not just branded items, but items that really have quality, that have features, that have longevity, that last. I'm happy to pay twice the price for something if it lasts at least twice as long. I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? And if it's got more features that I'm going to use. I mean, I'm driving a BMW 535D. It was the fastest production diesel car in the world when it was launched. It's a 3-litre diesel with twin sequential turbos, a little one and a big one. And I think I probably mentioned before, it does 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in about under 6 seconds. And it's all automatic, so even I can get that speed, and I consider myself to be an average sort of driver. But when I was ordering it from the factory in Germany, I said to myself, well, it's going to be a big outlay, and I knew this could be it for me. This could be the last car I ever buy. Sounds quite melodramatic, but I felt this is my chance. Some people might call it a midlife crisis car, but so I decided that, let's have a look at the option list. And if you know BMW, Mercedes, that sort of manufacturer, the option list is huge, and you can really pretty much double the cost of a car by the option list. But the base for me was the 535. So it was the 3-litre diesel, but with 2 turbos. I knew I had a performance vehicle. It was capable of, I don't know, 170 miles per hour. I could work out what that is in kilometres per hour, but when I saw it doing it on TV, it was in miles per hour. So very fast, I think it is in kilometres per hour. Will I ever drive that fast? Probably not. But it's always nice to know that you've the capability to accelerate when needs be to get you out of trouble, or just when you're on an autobahn in Germany and it's a lovely sunny day and there's very few cars around and you just feel like, feeling the surge of speed, So I had to look at the options list, and I wanted the criteria for me, and it's probably with everything, certainly of a luxury nature, and if it's expensive, is will I use it? Will I use it every day? I mean, that's the ultimate. If I'm going to use this feature every single day, then yeah, I'm going to pay for it. So the surround sound, it's a Harman Kardon Logic Pro 7 surround sound. Yeah, I use that every day. I like to listen to the odd tune on the radio. It's got some MP3 capabilities on the main CD drive. But if I'm honest, I find MP3s are below par quality-wise. I'd rather listen to FM radio, to be honest. At least that's an honest format where you know its limitations, and can still sound good through the processor of the Harman Kardon surround sound. And it's always nice to hear the voice coming out from the middle of the dashboard, and the music surrounding you in a cocoon of luxury and luxurious sound. So that was an important one. The heated seats. Well, heated seats are very, very important in Ireland. Even, I mean, here we are, it's July, nearly mid-July, I think. Yeah, you need that in the morning. It's leather seats. I could have had fabric, but the leather are way more durable and easy to clean, but they have a downside. They're very cold on the morning, so it's nice to have that little bit of luxury of a hot seat. Other options I got, well, I think for safety, I've got high beam assist. This essentially means you always have full beam, and there's a little camera mounted behind the rearview mirror, and it determines if there's cars in front of you or whatever coming towards you, and it dips automatically. It's nice. It's a little feature that just takes the workload off you a little bit, so you don't have to do it yourself. I've got a heads-up display. I'm looking at it now. It's showing the speed in kilometers per hour. You can put all sorts of information on it, and I don't have to look down at the dashboard. Fairly recently, my near vision is starting to deteriorate. So when you get to a 42 seems to be the threshold for the odd little thing going wrong in the body. Nothing major, but just a little thing starting to age. And I was told that if I wanted to have the dashboard clear, I would need to have varifocals. So I'm wearing varifocals now. They're a very expensive lens and a very cheap frame, but that's for another episode. So I can see it hovering above the end of the bonnet, the speed. And if I had the sat-nav on, it give me directions. So I've got that. So I've got the sat-nav. I've got xenon headlights. I mean, you never need change xenon bulbs. They're 11 years old. They're as bright as ever. They're also adaptive. They go around the corner ahead of you, so the beam's always pointing in the direction of travel, which sort of makes sense, really. I'm not quite sure if I paid extra for that, but I think because I wanted the high beam assist and a few other features, I think that probably came along for the ride as well. I'm just trying to think what other features I have. I have this voice assistant where I can talk to the car. It's usually quite a nice little party trick to show people, but that's pretty much the only time I ever use it. And to be quite honest, it can always go horribly wrong, where it doesn't do anything I say, and people find it hilarious, laughing at the BMW driver. And that's the other negative with driving a high-performance executive saloon. The perception by other drivers and other road users is pretty. They think you're a tosser. A BMW driver has such a negative connotation. So I do try to be a good driver, the best driver on the road, and look like I know what I'm doing, and I let people out and all the rest. Because the car's now 11 years old, it's a little bit easier. People go, oh, it's not a brand new one. He's not that much of a tosser. But I don't think I am.